I'm Dan Delosier. I'm the District 1 Commissioner in Rogers County. This is all out in my district here, so we're the main ones on the cleanup part of it and trying to make sure these people are taken care of. We're trying to get our citizens all the services they need, and we're working towards that right now. We've got Red Cross. I could name them all, but it'd take forever. So we've got a lot of people coming out looking to make sure they have food, water, and whatever they can do to help them get their lives back together. You'll find out, we're going to make a tour of some of these additions through here. You'll find out there's a lot of totally destroyed homes, and there are some with a lot major damage. So we won't know the extent of it for right now, but we're just right now we're trying to help them with their houses. Most of them are afraid to leave their houses because of looting. I don't believe we're having any looting out here. The sheriff will get with that. They've already arrested somebody, so I think everything's going good right now. The sheriff will talk on that, but if you have any questions of me, I'm better if you ask the questions.
What are the responses going to be that you guys still need to clean up? I mean, we're talking about a lot of debris. Where are you guys taking all that debris, and can you guys handle it, or do you need some outside help?
No, we can handle it. We've got we're taking all the brush. I don't know if you saw the equipment going around the corner. They're going to their next addition. They've been in these two additions. They've got them pretty well cleaned up. There are people dragging the brush to the ditches. They've got a lot of volunteers down there working. They're pulling everything out. So as we clean one out, we go to another, and we will make another. We'll probably make 4 or 5 more rounds in some of these. Some of the citizens have already decided they're pushing it up a pile and burning it. We're going to set some dumpsters in these as soon as we get an area where we can, and we're about there now. These additions are pretty tight. They just have a road going in with a cul-de-sac. They've got more volunteers, and we had to get everybody moved out of there where we could get in there to get them. We started early this morning in these two additions. We're working them. We're going around the corner to a major addition, and you'll see it around there. There's a lot of houses destroyed around there. Probably more destroyed there than there are in good shape.
For the people without power, should they go to the Expo Center? I mean, how are they finding out where these resources
They're
are?
finding out with pamphlets and things. I've been in all these additions and talked to the people, so they're understanding. The bad thing is they can't see televisions. A lot of them felt early this morning or last night when I was out here, a lot of them felt like they were all on their own, and I said, oh no, we're coming. We spent quite a bit of time getting our roads open. It took a while. We had some big trees. We've got a lot of that. We've just got pushed off the road right now, so we could open. All of our roads are open right now, but we have to continue to, in these additions, they had a lot of brush or trees along the road, and they're all gone. So they're in the road. So we've taken them out. They've had volunteers, and some of them go ahead and start pushing things out of the way. So the additions are open right now, where people can get in and out of them, but we've got a lot of work to do here, and we won't leave them.
As far as the power being out in different areas, is there a priority for restoration, or is it?
Well, you probably saw them coming in. Verdigris Valley, this is all Verdigris Valley out here. GRDA is getting their main transmission lines finished. They're working on them right now. I actually, my area that I work goes to 4170 Road, so I've got areas up there that's Claremore Electric. Claremore's working on theirs. They're about to get everything out of our way. They've both been, all of the electric people have been phenomenal. They've worked hard. In 3 days, we're to the point of getting a lot of electricity on out here. Verdigris Valley's stringing new lines right now, putting all new poles up. They've got pole trucks everywhere with loads of poles, so they're working on it. And the amount of time since this happened, about midnight Sunday night, it's amazing where we are right now.
Commissioner, could you just reiterate and kind of tell us where we are, along the damage path for just east of Claremore?
We're on ground zero right here. You probably see those additions, and as you go on up, you'll see some more additions. A tornado doesn't ever stay in one place, but most of the time from 480 Road to Highway 20, it came all the way through here. We had every road blocked to at least to 4230. We've got some damage in Circle H Ranch over there. There's a lot of houses over there. We've got a lot of damage in there that we've been in there and looked at. We've not been able to get there, but we're picking up brush everywhere right now and trying to get. Their roads are open. They don't have any electricity in a lot of places, but we're getting in the areas where where the lines are out of our way, where we can get into them, and we're there right now.
So if there was one thing you wanted to hammer home to the residents of Rogers County that live out in the rural parts of the community, what is the message from the county?
We're here. We're here, and we'll stay here.
The city touched on yesterday about 65% was back on electricity. What do you know about folks maybe aren't technically in the city? And what's kind of demographic right now?
Really, right now, this is the most heavily decimated place by far. So it's taking a little longer. They lost lines. Claremore lost a lot of power, or they lost a lot of power up there, and they lost a lot of poles. But this out here is probably twice what they've got in town, and it's in a small area compared to all of Claremore. This area, for a mile wide, and we're right here at 4,200, so 3 miles right here. Plus we've got another 3 miles that has a lot of damage too. So the amount, there's not near as many people per square foot as there is in town. But a lot of these people out here don't have electricity because the lines are strung out so far. But they're working on them. They're getting there.
Can you reiterate where you ask folks to go to for picking up or dropping off the items?
Mm-hmm. To the Expo. Expo in Claremore. They have everything you need. But we've got people out here bringing stuff to people right now. A lot of people are out here, with cases of water, with sandwiches, with whatever they can bring. Red Cross is out here. They're hitting a lot of these houses with meals right now, and now that we're getting where we can get into them, they're hitting them really hard.
Do those people donating or delivering, do they need to get signed up with any municipal?
Well, Claremore and us both have decided, we're not taking a lot of donations because we've got so much stuff now. The Expo is where we're putting everything that we can get, and I think they've got more than they can handle up there right now.
How about manpower, or your volunteers, and so on?
Well, we're trying our best to not have a lot of volunteers out in the community because of the heavy equipment we've got here. We did have well, the sheriff will touch on this, but one of his deputies was hurt the other day by a volunteer pulling a trailer. So we're trying to keep everybody out. We don't have a lot of room in these additions. We're blocked, so we have to go in. I was out here at 6:30 this morning making everybody get their cars off so we can get in here with trucks and large equipment. And we're moving a lot of brush. So
Shelters. Where are shelters located?
One of the best shelters, and nobody's utilizing it, is the Sequoia Schools. They've got everything there for anybody that wants to come in there and stay. It's air conditioned, which today is a nice day, but the last 2 days have been really hot during the day. So they decided they're bringing water out and driving through these communities and giving water and sandwiches. But there's a lot of people doing that. So
What kind of services is the Red Cross providing?
Red Cross is right now is finding out if they need housing, finding out if they making sure they have something to eat, drink. Like I said, a lot of them will not leave. They're setting tents up in their front yards. Red Cross is helping them with all of that stuff.
I knew this is a rural area. Livestock. I mean, have you guys been dealing with other people's livestock issues?
We've not had any livestock issues that we know of.
Okay.
I've not heard a word about livestock. Actually, I'll talk about that later. Other than that, we're doing pretty good. Scott's probably got something he'd like to talk about. And Steve.
Certainly want to address the issues at hand right now, and we early on a lot of our time was consumed with check on the well-being calls from people checking on relatives that may not have any immediate family or anybody. Still getting a few of those calls. Certainly contact that we've had with individuals going down the road, just making sure that that they might have knowledge of somebody that would be in need of us checking on them. Our deputies will have handouts that will have contact emergency numbers and resources that have been covered already, but it does good to have that in print if that's needed to be. One of the things to address looting, I'll just start off by quoting Mr. T. I pity the fool that would come out to take advantage of somebody here. We're blessed to have OHP's assistance and surrounding law enforcement areas assistance we've got plainclothes, we've got other agencies, and Claremore Police Department was able to proactively grab a guy that had established a plan there that he was going to bring some to of his colleagues to perform that act of looting. So he's in jail, and maybe that one was taken care of before it happened. Certainly willing to answer any questions that anybody had. We'll have handout material. One of the challenges that we've had, there's so many things behind the scene, was a challenge to keep air conditioning and power into our jail. And we've got temporary AC units on the roof run by a temporary generator. So the Band-Aids are working when it comes to that. I think we're very adequate with uniform presence in these areas out here, as well as plainclothes people and plain cars that would be looking for anybody taking advantage. We want to caution everybody as these crises are here with us. Beware of those contractor scams and paying anybody up front, and certainly vet those people out that are going to do any work for you, from tree trimming to roof to reconstruction or anything like that. So we're prioritizing our calls. Obviously, those priority one calls are about all we're able to handle right now. Some things have to take a back seat as far as report calls and things that aren't high in necessity. But again, I'll answer anybody's questions, anything you might have.
Sheriff, how important is it to enforce that curfew? What's the message to the people that,
It's certainly, I think the curfew is just a tool. It's a very necessary tool. It has to be put in place when these things happen. Early on, and that's waning a little bit right now, but early on, a holiday weekend, we had so many people just wanting to look. That curfew at night's there for a reason. We're not trying to curtail anybody's efforts to get in and take care of their property, but we're certainly going to keep those that just want to gawk at the disaster out of there. So I think we've had a good balance of, common sense decisions that have been made to get a homeowner in to take care of what's there at their home or what's left of their home, and then keep those out that don't belong.
What was the name of that person arrested?
I can get it. I don't have it. I got it in my truck.
And what time is that curfew set again?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Until 6.
Just to hammer down on the looting, this is the place to do it, right? You guys are out.
Really, not just trying to make a John Wayne statement or anything, but this is not the place to do it. Certainly our district attorney knows how to prosecute cases, and I think we've established the fact that where these cases would go, that we're not soft on crime, and I think anybody that would take advantage of a person that's already been victimized in a situation like that, kind of stretches it to another level. And I'll say again, I think there's a special place in hell for those individuals, and we'll try to help them get there.
When you initially went through toward the areas of assault and damage, what was your thought?
I've lived here all my life, and it as most of us have, and it hurts to see those structures and things that have been there. Even the trees, the things like this. But that however many houses that Danny was talking about earlier been affected. You might multiply it times 4 lives that live in that house that are affected by this. Some a little bit, some a lot, and very fortunate that unlike our neighbors in Mays County, we didn't have any fatalities. If you drive around and look at this, you think, why don't we have just multiple fatalities? And very, very grateful for that.
I will say most of these people rode it out in their house.
Yeah,
they stayed in their house during this storm, so they've seen it all.
And
it's tough.
You just think, the fear factor that was there, and the hell that those people had to endure for a short amount of time that that they'll remember for the rest of their life. Again, any questions?
Steve, could you speak real quickly to where you're at with the disaster declaration and the response?
So the disaster declaration, we are at a state of emergency. That declaration has been done at the county level and the city level. So it has been passed up to the state. Governor's office is working on their side of things, and they've been in constant contact with FEMA up to this point. We have to meet a certain threshold, with damage to get that FEMA help. But Congressman Burkeen's been in. We visited with him this morning already, and his staff. So that is definitely in the works, and we're hoping to get that going quickly, see that we can make that threshold. Would like to say a couple of things. One of the questions was about volunteers. Due to the fact that we had the law enforcement officer hurt, we are requesting no volunteers, because it was a volunteer that actually struck the officer. He ended up having a broken rib, concussion, was transported to St. Francis Hospital, where he was for a few hours. He is home. He is in good health at this point, pretty sore. So we are saying no. And it's not that we don't want help. We just can't have it at this point, because our crews, our county crews, our city crews, this is what we do every day. These guys are functioning. They are at max operation, and they are moving loads and loads and loads of brush. There has been several hundred dump trucks full of debris already getting out of the area. We couldn't do it that fast if we had other folks in here in the way. So we just say no, no, no. There is a donation. We're not requesting any donations. So I want to make that clear. We're not requesting any donations. There is a list out with the Red Cross that are some items that we will accept. Those items are at the expo, and I have somebody there managing that at this point. If you're trying to bring something else that is not on that list, you will be turned away. We just simply, at this point, we are at max capacity. We just don't have the resources to encumber more of that stuff. Any questions?
You said that hospital, was that to, you said it was to a deputy?
It was actually the Claremore Police Hospital.
And that was what day?
Yeah, that was
2 days ago, I believe. And it was somebody pulling a trailer, and he got wrapped up under the trailer.
You have the option.
I won't release that.
Can you name off the 2 Facebook accounts that the community can look to for?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been a joint effort, and there's been some confusion. We're seeing some stuff where county's not doing stuff. I assure you, we've got County Commissioner Dan Delosier here in this district. We've got Sheriff Scott Walton here. It's obvious. I'm Steve Massey, Deputy Director with Emergency Management. Your county employees and your county staff, we are here. We are working. The city has a page that they are releasing information on. If you will look at the Rogers County Facebook page, Rogers County Emergency Management Facebook page, you can go to rogerscounty.org, and you can get to the sheriff's website. You can get to our website. You can get any information, and the county is updating for our people all that information on our emergency management page, the sheriff's office page, and the county page.
What do you think this storm, considering all the damage, what do you think this ranks in terms of county's history?
We've had some.
County's history?
It's pretty devastating. We have had some more significant damage, but it was a lot more confined. Where some of the questions have been, where are we at in terms of location? Right here, this is kind of the beginning of the EF3, and that is from the National Weather Service. They were out the last couple of days and gathering all their information, and where this came through the county, from starting in Claremore to where it goes through, we're looking at about a 15 to 18 mile swath, half a mile to a mile wide in areas. So it's
someplace a mile and a half. We get on down just a little bit further, it goes all the way to 4270, and it took a lot of houses out there.
between the city and the county, 700-800 homes have been impacted. It's very significant. I think in terms of that, this is probably the most widespread this county has seen that I can recall. Like the commissioner, like the sheriff, we're all lifelong residents here, so I can't recall anything else of this size.
We've had tornadoes, but I think this stayed on the ground longer than most anyone we've had that I could think of in Rogers County.
the threat of more weather this week, is there urgency for folks to get tarps on their homes?
They've got people in there tarping on their houses right now, big time. That's one of the people we're letting in. We've actually blocked the road to keep people from coming in. The sheriff's office is coming through, making sure we're doing everything right, and we're letting people in that have to be in here, but we're trying to limit it. And like Scott said, over the weekend and yesterday, most people were off work, so we have motorcycles standing in the road out here taking pictures. We've got those people out of here now, so we're able to really get in here and work. And this heavy equipment, you've got to have room to work, and with the help of the sheriff's office, or with the help of us, the sheriff's office is doing most of that. But with between the two, we're actually keeping people out of here that we can actually get something done.
So hit on a couple of things. The sheriff said a while ago there's some common sense being used here. And I'm saying we're not wanting the volunteers. However, if you have family and friends that you're trying to get to help them on their personal property, we are not, that's those common sense decisions that are being made. Those people are allowed to come in and help their family and friends. We're just not letting big, huge crews come in and be in the way of our crews doing their jobs.
We're going to make many trips through these additions. Like I said, we got everything that they had in the ditches in these two additions this morning. We just got out. We're moving down this way now and head to Carefree Valley. But we'll come back if we come back 10 times. As long as they keep putting brush in the ditch. I've got dumpsters coming into these two additions here in just a little while now that we have room, so they can start putting a lot of the debris, their debris, into them. A lot of volunteers, family members, like Steve said, we've got a lot of family members working on that. So we're not going to keep people out of here if they need their help, but we're not, big companies are kind of in our way right now, or a lot of skid steers and stuff that are wanting to come in. We don't have room for them yet.
Commissioner, if you step to the podium and if I was a resident in this community and I've got debris, can you tell us just the step-by-step process of how that's done?
Well, as we're getting around here, I've got everybody that works for me working, and they're working long hours. They're not getting even becoming grouches yet, but they're working through all of this all they can. But we've got a system set up that we're coming. We started at 4170 Road until we hit power lines that we couldn't get past. We're on 4180. I've got two big crews working with trucks. They've got all the trucks they can handle right now, but we're starting at 4170, 4180, and then once we got through and opened all of the roads up all the way to 4250, that's the end of my district. We had a little brush on 4250, some on 4240, 4230. It actually went clear to 470 and wiped a lot of houses, or 370, and worked a lot of houses, or knocked a lot of houses down in there. The roads were totally blocked. We went in and opened all of that up. Now we're coming into the additions, and we're starting to really clean them out so they can bring more.
Are you urging people to push brush to the curb?
It's better if they pick it up and stack it. But yes, there is some that they can't do without pushing. We're fine with that. As we come in, we've got the equipment that can handle it. We pick it up, put it in dump trucks, and go right down the road. So.
I guess with all the generators and stuff, are the residents being safe? I mean, you always hear about carbon monoxide. Any kind of safety warnings?
They're putting them outside. We've had a couple of them that somebody's come along and stole. Just walked up and picked up, put in their truck, and left. I heard of one yesterday. Actually, the PIO for Claremore, they lost one. So they had it setting outside. Of course, they should be able to without any problem. But somebody decided they needed it worse, I guess. So I've heard of two getting stolen right now. But no, sheriff's office is out. They're watching things too close, and we're proud of that.
Encourage you folks to report anything stolen, any crimes of any measures to the sheriff's office.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, by 911, and we can do some reports online. But I mean, on those reports, by all means, we still want to encourage people to report them.
And the city's doing that. They're urging people in the city. Like I said, this is city and county. We're just out here in the county because we wanted everyone to see what happens out here.
Finish up with saying the sheriff's office is out. They're out in plain clothes. They're out in plain vehicles. If you're planning on coming to town to do something, don't do it. Not only they've reached out to the Highway Patrol. We've got the Highway Patrol here. Don't come to this community expecting to try to do something and get away with it. You will be caught. And I would like to add, you know, our electric companies, our power companies, they always get dogged in these situations. Folks, they are out working tirelessly around the clock 24/7 right now. We know there's a lot of people frustrated. Put it in perspective, my home is 2 miles from here. I'm affected. I'm in the tornado path as well. So, you know, it is hitting a lot of our first responders as well, and we are still out here providing our services and doing our jobs. We would ask for a little grace. Please be patient. And the biggest thing I could ask is for everybody to say a prayer for everybody involved and affected and working and serving our citizens.
Is electricity still a matter of days or week? How are we gauging that?
We've not got an update from Verdigris Valley. We should get one here in just a little while, but as you can see, you saw them coming in here. They're putting those power lines up. As they get those up, then they can run into the community. I mean, into the places where houses are.
And figures I've seen, Verdigris Valley had over 200 power poles broken.
And I've seen most of those hauled in here, so they're putting them up as quick as they can. But they're opening a lot of it. The biggest problem that we have is they're not going to be able to turn electric to a lot of these little housing additions because the houses are so damaged that they've got to make sure that they're off before they do that. So I saw them in here. They were looking at a lot of the houses to make sure if they're sound enough to have electricity or not, because we don't need a lot of fires. They turn the electricity on and they won't do that. They know their job well.
Is there an inspection process out here that people need
I'm sure the electric companies are taking care of that right now. They're going to be working on theirs.
And there is, through this process with the power companies and trying to get some of this power back up and going, there are some services to the houses, the individual services from the poles, you know, that's the homeowner's responsibility. They will be cut due to the damage that's sustained, and they're going to need to contact an electrician to get out and get them hooked back up to those lines. But we're, you know, and unfortunately, those are things that are going to be happening. If we've got a community that's got 20 homes and we've got one home that's damaged and has a weatherhead issue, that they will be taken off that circuit so we can get the 19 homes up and, you know, reach out to your local electrician and to get your stuff taken care of.
What about, say, price gouging?
With the state of emergency, there's laws and things in place for that. So that's, you know, that's something the sheriff's office and the DA's office will work on to get taken care of. Cooling stations, the Elks Lodge has a cooling station. Sequoia Schools, I've heard Claremore Schools potentially has some areas opening.
They're opening them up now.
There's a number of places around that if people just need to get in and get a cool place, get a snack, it's out there. Food is being served. Mercy Chefs is in town. Our Baptist ministry folks, they're in town. That is one of our volunteer organizations that we work with regularly that is vetted and is helping doing some debris removal and getting it out to the curbs and things.
These people here are going to hear from Red Cross this morning. We've got them out. We had a meeting early this morning, and Red Cross is out here, and they're going to go door to door and find out what they need. You know, they can help them with housing. They can a lot of things that they're going to be able to do. But one of the big things right now is food and water. These people just, you know, they've been out here for 2 days, and we've been out here. They've got some in there, but I don't think near as much as they need. Now they're going to ramp it up really heavy today.
And for the citizens to know, Red Cross is with us in the EOC, in our emergency operations center where we're taking care of the operations and monitoring everything. The Red Cross is in there, the Sheriff's Office is in there, our districts are in there, Salvationist Army is in there.
FEMA.
We've got FEMA in there, we've got the State Emergency Management. I've had the State Emergency Management Director in there. Her chief of staff is in the EOC today. Congressman Burkeen has been in this morning. We've got people where they need to be in place. We're getting that information to them. Due to the amount of damage, it's just taking us a little time to get into some places. So again,
We've heard from all of our state legislators. They're all on board. I've got more text than I can really tell you for sure. But Representative LePac is state representative. Senator Ali Seifert, we've heard from her. Congressman Mullen, we've heard from him. Burkeen was here this morning. He may be able to come and take a tour. He was going to Salina, but he's touring Claremore right now, and he's going to come out here and look at our most devastated places. So we've got a lot of legislative help here. They're seeing what's going on and what we're doing, and that's about all I've got.
and they are attending our update meetings.
Sure.
So these representatives and stuff, they are attending our updated meetings and operational meetings that we are having a couple times a day at this point.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.